everyone, I'm Amanda. You're watching Booked with Amanda, and I'm here to talk books with you. I'm coming at you today with a list of 10 books that are good to read aloud. That could be to your small child, your large child, partner, spouse, friend, anybody. Spread the book love around is my theory. And these books are really great to enjoy with others. First up, we have Mary Poppins, which is about a magical nanny who comes into the Banks kid's life and changes their outlook on things and leaves just as fast as she came. Full of magic. The little stories in it are wonderful. Great to read aloud to someone, especially a smaller child, elementary school aged probably. This would be fantastic. Next, we have Coreline by Neil Gaiman. This is a creepy story about a girl who finds herself a doorway that goes into another world. That world has another mother, another father, and things seem to be perfect on the outside, but when you dive into it, things aren't what they seem, and the other mother ends up being not what she expected. So this is creepy, might scare younger children, but you know, definitely, I don't know, maybe you're looking at grade 3, 4, 5-ish. I think would really enjoy this book read out loud. And it is a little bit spooky, so that's probably a good read for around Halloween time. Next we have the BFG by Roald Dahl, and that's basically a little girl gets or sees the big friendly giant giving dreams away to other people, and he takes her back with him to his house because she saw him and he needs to remain hidden, and then they kind of grow a friendship, and then they come together to defeat a common enemy. I guess is the nice way to put it. It's really cute, really silly. Oh, it is so, like, the words are so silly. I think that a younger audience would really love this if you read it out loud, so I recommend that, again, for younger kids. Next, we have Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. I am in Canada. That is the correct title for me. It could be Sorcerer's Stone for you. So, by J.K. Rowling. Obviously, it's Harry Potter. I mean, you could put the whole series on here, but the first book, I think, is good for all audiences. I mean, it does get darker as the series goes on. The first book is just so fun because you learn about magic. You learn about wizards and witches. You learn about Hogwarts, the houses. I mean, it's a great introduction. It's a nice low fantasy, so you're not having to learn a whole new world. So I think this is great for all ages. Definitely, even if you read this, read it out loud to your kids. Introduce them to the magic of Harry Potter. Everyone should be introduced to it at least once, in my opinion. Next, we have The Secret Garden by Frances Hodgson Burnett. I haven't read this in a while, but it is an older book, but it is just fantastic. The descriptions in the book are just beautiful. And the character, I can't remember her name, I should have wrote it down, but anyway, she is just, the growth in her is just so nice to see. It's just a nice, wholesome book that I think would be fantastic to read out loud to school-age children. Next, we have Bridge to Terabithia by Catherine Patterson. This book follows Jesse and Leslie and their friendship and how it grows, and then unfortunately a tragedy happens, and you kind of see the after effects of that a little bit. So definitely a little bit of a trigger warning, because I do recommend this for kids, but I think it's maybe a better teaching tool. Spoiler, I'm putting a spoiler. The death in this book would be a good teaching tool, I think. So it might not be a book you want to read aloud to all kids. I think it would be more of a mature read, or a child who's going through a death in the family or friends area. So definitely think of that before you read this one out loud. But I think that the magic of Terabithia, and Terabithia is not a huge part of this book, but you feel like this entire book is Terabithia. The writing is just amazing. So definitely pick it up. But there is a little bit of a warning. There is a death in the book, so keep that in mind when you're reading it out loud. Next we have Charlie and the Chocolate Factory by Roald Dahl. I feel like he's on here a few times because his books are wonderful. They're magical, and honestly, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is just kind of, almost like every kid's dream in a sense. As a child, unless you don't like sweets, isn't it just your dream to go to a chocolate factory or any candy factory? And just the things that he invents and just the things in the book. Definitely this would be great for a younger audience to read out loud too. It's just like, I don't know, magic for younger kids. Honestly, it's magic bait for younger kids. So definitely pick that up for the little ones. Next is a little bit different from the rest, and we have Where the Sidewalk Ends by Shel Silverstein. And this is a book of poetry that is actually written for children. Some of the poems are a little bit serious, some of them are silly, but I haven't read this book in a while, but I remember loving it when I was younger. And I think that it would definitely be something that would be great to read out loud. And because it's poems, you could just pick up 1 or 2 poems a night, just to add to your bedtime routine even, which would be fantastic, I think. Number 9, we have Matilda by Roald Dahl. Again, magic. I feel like kids love magic, or maybe just I love magic, and I want children to love magic, but I feel like magic has a special place for children. And this involves a young girl and her family where she doesn't really fit in, and she discovers she has powers and just the chaos that goes with that. So adorable. It is also a movie that my kids really actually like. So you could read the book and watch the movie after. That would be kind of a neat little thing to do with your children, I think. Or again, partner, spouse, friend, doesn't matter. And finally, this one will be for an older audience. A younger child will have a hard time with it because it is a high fantasy, but an older child, maybe 9, 10 up, might have more fun with this book. That is The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. Wow, this book I read, I was in grade 8 or 9, I guess, and I just fell in love with it. Bilbo Baggins is, I love how he just falls into this adventure and how he seems to fight it most of the way, and somehow he's really successful at what he does. He's an accidental hero. I love it. You got a dragon. If you're not familiar with the story, you've got a dragon, you got dwarves, you got a hobbit, which is what this revolves around. The beginning is just, I think, iconic in my mind. This book just introduced me to, I guess before this, maybe I was more like reading contemporary type of books. This really introduced me to fantasy and just exploring outside my normal reading. So thank you, Dr. Guest, if you're still around. I know that we didn't get along all the time, but thank you for introducing me to this fantastic book that I've carried with me for the last 20 years. So that's it for today. That's my list of 10 books that would be fantastic to read out loud to whomever you choose to share the reading with. Children, adults. I think everyone can benefit from these books. They're all interesting in their own ways. Lots of magic on here. because I guess that's my thing. But if it's your thing too, then I think you will enjoy what I've shared with you today. If you have any other books that you feel would be fantastic to read aloud, definitely share them in the comments below and I will check them out. Maybe I've forgotten some things that are your favorites, and I would love to experience them if I haven't, so share your knowledge with me, please. That's all for today. Thank you for watching. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you want to see more from me. And I hope you all have a wonderful day. See you next time. Bye.